Hi there, welcome to my video on how to do edge-to-edge designs and nesting with 4D and 5D Quilt Design Creator. There's actually a fair number of different things that you can do, and some are more complex than others, so I've decided that I'm going to break out these videos into a series. What we're going to do is start with the basic edge-to-edge and what makes a good edge-to-edge design. So what I'm doing right now is starting a new work area. And so that we can see everything on the screen at once without doing any scrolling, I've made it a fabric width of 40 inches and a machine reach of 12 inches. Okay, now in choosing your design, the easiest ones to select are ones that actually start and stop on the same plane. And that is horizontally, they just fit one after the other without too much playing around. One of the examples of that is the Young at Heart's Feather Panto from One Song Needle Arts. And if you look at this, we can actually zoom in and you can see that the start node and the end node are at the same spot horizontally. If it weren't that case, then you would have to do some more math calculations than what we really want to do with the beginning designs. So what I'm going to do is snitch it over to the upper left corner, and I can see that this design is pretty large. It's 14 and a bit, and so that's not going to give me enough repeats so that it'll go right across to the 40-inch mark that we have. What I would do at this point is do a little bit of playing around with it. I'm not going to do a lot of math with this. I'm just going to hold down my control key and make it a bit smaller. And now if I choose my Encore button, I can see that it's giving me 3 repeats, and that's good. Actually, I've made it a little bit too small because we have a fair bit of blank space on the beginning and the end of this design. So if I choose undo and make it a little bit bigger again, still got 3 repeats, and that's a pretty nice fit. I can do a little bit of stretching to make sure that it's going to go edge to edge. And what you can see here is that each repeat, it starts here, and on the second repeat, those nodes line up perfectly. So when you go to stitch this out, there's not going to be any pause. It's just going to go ahead and be perfect. It'll go on to the next repeat and then come to the end. If you found that you were kind of wanting to make this one design, and there's a good reason for that, what I would do is zoom in on this. And now let's get rid of this design viewer. If you choose Edit Nodes, if you select this, those are all your nodes. Now you can just see the green node on the second design. You can select that and just nudge it over a bit, and now that becomes one design instead of 2. And I'm going to go over to the next one and do the same thing. Now if you look at your bar here, you see that it's one whole group. If we zoom back out again, one whole design. So I'm going to select it. I'm going to bring it up to the upper left corner. And now I can hold down my control key and just drag it out a little bit to the bottom right. There we go. And that will stitch out now edge to edge without any further problems. This is, by the way, a design that's small enough that you can use in a mid-arm machine. If you're not quite sure on that one. We can zoom in a little bit. Bring it out a little bit. If you've only got 5 inches of room, you can actually just don't hold down your control key. Just nudge it up a bit to the 5 inches, and that will stitch out pretty much perfectly in any mid-arm machine. I'm going to go back and zoom out again. Now, if you have a longer machine, anything that's 16 to 18 inches, you've got lots more room. And so what you can do is choose to do 2 paths at the same time. So if I select the entire design and duplicate it, I can drag it down. And this is a good duplicate. I do like to kind of mess around a little bit more with these designs. What I would do in this particular instance is flip it top to bottom, just so that it kind of gives it a little bit more interest. And so what you're seeing now is stitching out from left to right, and then your machine will stop and it wants to go back here to start the next one. Well, all you need to do is flip it this way, and now you've actually reversed the path. So therefore your machine is going to do left to right. It's going to stop here. You can either connect this line to that line and it won't stop, it'll just do one complete stitch out, or you can just leave it not connected and it'll pause, wait for you to hit go, it'll bring it down to here, and then you complete your second stitch out. That's what you would do for a long arm machine. And that's the first set of the easiest nesting edge to edge designs that you can do.